Hello, everyone. So, all the stuff that's been going on kind of had me thinking about a lot of things. And so, I was looking within to see, like, what this was trying to teach me. Because everything that's happening outside of you is a reflection of what's happening. Sorry, I had to clean my mirror. What's happening within you. So if there's chaos out there, it's because there's chaos in here. And like we're all, from what I believe, we're all living our own reality. So, that's why you're supposed to look within. But anyway, so what I got for myself was that why are you trying to prove yourself to anyone? Like how I feel about something is between me and God. And I don't have to prove why I feel that way to anyone. And I also don't really need to prove someone wrong. Like, if we're not aligned on something, then I don't need you in my life. Like, that pretty much sums it up. And, like, when you're doing that, when you're trying to prove yourself to people, like, first of all, is it because you're not accepting yourself? Because when you're proving yourself to people, you're looking for outside validation, which means there's something about you that's not accepting something about you. Or you're not accepting something about yourself. So, I was thinking about it in the Jesus way. And Jesus he was Jesus. Like, he did what Jesus did. He didn't go out looking for validation. He didn't need anyone's approval. He just did what he did. And people followed him because they believed in him. And that's because he believed in him. And yes, there were people that didn't believe in him, but he wasn't concerned about those people. Like, whenever he saw that those people weren't accepting him, he prayed for them. He didn't need to prove anything to them. And I guess that's the point. Like, this is my life, and I get to believe whatever I believe. And it's between me and God. And I know I'm a good person, so whether someone else believes that or not, like, that's their stuff. Like, I don't have to prove myself to them. Whenever people show me who they are, I believe them now. Because I spent a lot of my life feeling like I needed to prove myself to people. And I know that's not the case. Like, I have to accept myself. And I have to be good with who I am. And if I'm not good with who I am, then that's something about me that I need to look at. Like, I don't need to come out there and change you. I could be an example for someone else, but I'm not going to change someone else, because you can't change someone else. You can only work on yourself. And like, another way I've learned is that it's not even about changing yourself. We changed ourselves to fit into whatever role we needed to fit into, rather than being authentic. So basically, you're remembering who you're supposed to be. You're not really changing who you are, because you already did that. And you did that by, so many different things, but basically by things you were taught. Like, you weren't taught to, you didn't just not like people. No, you were taught to. You were taught to think that someone's better than you or someone's less than you. You were taught to think that you weren't deserving of things. Like, you were taught that. You were taught to be afraid of things. Like, that's all taught. And that's what you have to look at. Like, you have to look at, okay, is this true for me? Is this how I really feel? Do I accept everything about me? Because I was a people pleaser, so I was always putting everyone's needs ahead of my own. And I finally realized, like, it wasn't really working for me. It wasn't. Because people that people please tend to be doormats. And I don't want to be. I'm not a doormat. Like, I'm not going to be a doormat anymore. There was a point that I was. But there was also points where I stood up for myself. Sometimes it took me a little time to get there. But I always got there. Except now, like, I'm more aware. Like, I'm more aware of when stuff like that's happening. And, like, today, a friend of mine posted a video, and I was like, oh. Like, she basically said, if there's something outside of you that's, like, taking away your peace, like, don't give it your energy. Like, if you need to go do anything, go within and see what that's telling you about you. And I was like, oh. Because I felt like I needed to do something. And I mean, part of me, like, I am doing something. Like, I'm sharing what I'm learning. So other people, hopefully, people that are ready to hear it, will hear it, and it'll help them. Just like she posted that video, and it was something I was ready to hear it. And, I heard what I needed to hear. And, like, some people aren't ready. Like, that's why you can't change someone else. Because if they're not ready to do the work, and if they're not ready to hear what you have to say, they're not. Like, I had a conversation with someone recently, and no matter how many times I told the person what I needed from them, they weren't hearing me. They, like, talked around it. They, like, were talking around everything I said. And I was just like, you know what? I'm sitting here trying to prove myself, and I don't have to do that. It's not I shouldn't. I don't have to prove myself to anyone. No one has to prove themselves to anyone. But at the same time, like, if something triggers you or makes you angry or upset or sad or gives you anxiety or the feeling of anxiety, because they're all feelings, that's not who you are. But if any of those things happen, like, you have to look, you don't have to, but it's telling you to look at yourself and see, like, what it's trying to tell you. Because it's something about you. And, it's usually about fear or, something like that. Fear is a lot of it. Fear is a lot of it. And a lot of people don't want to look at themselves. And a lot of people don't want to admit that they're afraid. Because, of your ego. So, all right, everyone. Love, peace. Stay tuned.